Okay, now that you have your table created, you want to go ahead and you see the create at the top here. From here you can create new tables, create queries, and actually do searches based on information. Right now we don't have any information in the tables, so the query is not going to provide much results. We can build them, but it's not going to provide any information. And then you see I can create a form. I can create it from design view from the form wizard. I can also create my reports, and here's your report wizard. And then you have the modules and macros, which you can actually build code to perform different tasks. So if I want to do the form wizard, I'll just click that. And you can choose the tables that you have in your database, what information. If I want to put a single field over, I use one arrow. If I use the doubles, it moves everything. So I'll just put everything for now. Hit the next button. This is your different layouts that you have: columns, tabular, data sheet, and justified. Justified you would want to use on purchase orders or something where you have areas grouped together like PO, date, address, and then this will be line items. It's just an example of it. We'll leave it columnar. You can name your form right here. We'll just put computer supplier entry form. Again, I'm making this information up. Make sure you follow the specifications, and then you can modify the form design, or you can open to view it to enter information. We'll just open it, and once you get in here, you see the view. You can put your records in. This gets you to the first, this gets you to the last, and this little icon with the yellow would add a new one, but because I don't have anything in there, it's not showing. And this is the view. Again, if you get to the design view portion, I can change the layout, and I can highlight, hold down the shift key. I can grab multiples. I can move it around on the page, drag it, and that way you can drag them together. I can make them longer. I can make them shorter. These right here, I'll make these just a little bit shorter, and you'll see you can drag them. And I'll make these a little bit longer, and we'll drag it this way. And that's how you would adjust those. And this is in the design view. I can also change my theme, give it a different color, change my colors if I want. And now if I go to view again, you see it changed a little bit there. Again, we'll go back to the design view, change my theme, get another color. Let's get this green. Check my view, and you'll see the background change there. To enter information, once you have it, and remember we turned the preferred vendor on when we created the table, so the checkbox is always going to be checked. And now because I modified and touched something, you'll see this change from new to one. We'll put in some fake information here. Joe Smith. And state, we'll put them in Ohio. Next one. You see it says new. Once I change something in here, then it will Washington. You'll see the number changes because now we have a record. This is going to be Best Buys. And this is going to be Sally Jones. Okay. So now we have two of them again. I can toggle back and forth. We only have two. This is the first one. This was the second one. If I click double, it's not going to go anywhere. If I click one, it'll only go one because we only have one record. So that's your form entry. And we can go back to create again, create your reports, use a report wizard. I can pass over whichever fields again that I want. I'm just going to get the name, company name first and last. Go next. And you can group them by company name, supplier. If you have multiple contacts as a supplier or something like that, you can group them and say company supply name, and it'll group it like this. Then you can also do sorting. We'll sort by company contact last name and say next. And you can change the block and step and so forth. Change the layout of the page, landscape, And we'll just do a preview. Name your report. We'll just put report here. And say finish. And now there's my report there. There's Best Buys. And here's my other company. And I have Sally Jones and Joe Smith. And that is my report. And you can change the layout of it, landscape, portrait, from here as well. I'm showing one page. I'm only going to show one page though, except for once I put it to portrait, you'll see now that my information is on 2 pages. I changed it to landscape, it'll put it to 1. So when you create your reports, even though it looks good on the screen, if you go to the printable, you view it and see how it looks on multiple pages, 4 pages, 1 page, then you can see it. You can export this information to Excel. You can create a text file. You can make a PDF, email, and so forth from that. So we can close our preview there. Once you close it, it gets you to the point where you can actually modify these and move these around. Now is the actual date, and you'll see it's equal now. It's building a function just like the functions that you used in Excel. This has functions as well to pull values, and you have your field names there, and there is your actual label, and there's your actual data. And on the side, I'm going to move this over just a little bit. Try to blow this up. You'll see on the side here that it tells you where's the data coming from. I can actually change my data source over here. And this is going to the table, and it's looking at the data. Here's my table name at the top, different stuff, the different fields. All those are labeled. In this case, it's a text box, and I can change my formats, the spacing, the size. Here's the data. Where's your data source? I'm going to use this table. I only have one table on here, so it's only showing the one. So we have our table, we have our report, we have our entry form, and you want to say the design. Here's your table here. If I want to go and back to my table, so save the layout. If I open this table up now, you'll see my records are in there after I enter them. And I can enter records here too, but like I said, you don't want to have them, you don't want to have them entering information in this area. And Thomas is in Iowa, no preferred. And if we go back to entry form, I got to close this up. If I go back to entry form, you'll see it over here. And we created 3, so if I go to the end, there's my third one, Circuit City.